in the future, India is going to need to work on the brand of India as a coffee producing country.
Well, they have to work on the brand. I think it's already started to change because this year was a lot easier than 2020 to sell
Oh, really?
Indian coffees.
In
But
Saudi.
I think what also helped that the people are looking for different options and expanding their vision.
Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and this is episode 5 of our 5-part series. And we are talking about World Coffee Conference that happened in India recently, and we are talking about the emerging Indian specialty coffee market. And joining me is Yousef. And Yousef, in this episode, we're going to talk about the future of India's coffee market. Now, in the last episode, we were talking about it as an emerging consuming market. But there's a lot of things that we saw from World Coffee Conference that was really putting India at front and center of the future of what's going to happen in coffee. What are your thoughts about the future of the coffee market in India?
So I think after this whole conference and what has happened and the very positive vibes, I keep saying it, I keep calling it a wave after the wave that was created in the World Coffee Conference. It will really take India to a next level with publicity. I think that their coffees are already great. So, to take them to another level, that's going to be quite challenging. But what needs to be done is to get those great coffees out to the public. I think green beans, they're going to be one of the leading countries in production.
Really?
Quality, let's say. Numbers, that's not my specialty, but I would say leading qualities, leading marketing quality and cup profiles and, and cleanliness of the cup.
Yeah.
I think it is going to be a very hot origin that people would want to work with soon. I think using the publicity for the World Coffee Conference will help them to get to where they should be. Because
help me understand something with that. Why do we see so much of Brazilian coffee out there and so much of Costa Rican coffee and Ethiopian coffees? Like India produces more coffee than Ethiopia, right? So why is there this stigma amongst, why don't green coffee buyers get more Indian coffee out into the world? Is it because it's mostly produced, consumed within India, or what's going on there?
I think a lot of their coffee is consumed within country, but also I think there hasn't been good marketing. Pushing
so the brand of India.
Oh, yeah, the brand of India. When people think of India, don't think usually of the,
good, clean,
the fun
fruity
side of it,
coffees,
or the fruity coffees, or the beauty of the farms, or they will think more of what they've been used to, like maybe Robustas, maybe like very bad coffees, and that's when you need more roasters, or you need more good branding people that could push the right product the right way to get into new markets. A lot of people, for example, complain about their prices, but they don't know the background of the Indian market. Like you can't buy green coffee into India, so that's what they can sell locally. They can sell locally at a good price. Why would they sell it internationally for a cheap price? It's not fair. By the end of the day, everybody has to feed itself. Everybody wants to feed themselves. So if those information were pushed out, if the right coffees were pushed out, if we see more of Indian producers in international shows, I think now they will make it. They will make the difference. It will be those steps that make the change.
Tell me something. How was Indian coffee received in Saudi?
Oh, it was hard to sell in the beginning.
Are you the only one that's bringing in Indian coffee in Saudi?
No, there are a few people, but it was
What's been your experience?
I was one of the first ones, and trying to push just a different product it was hard. And then as you said, Indian, comparing to Brazil and Ethiopia and Costa Rica, you have a massive like population there that are pushing the right, like, or a good image about these coffees. And then you have Indian coffees. You don't, I think now you have content. Before, the content was really hard to find about Indian coffees. And then all of a sudden that you are bringing Indian coffees. So a lot of people didn't take it well, and then they were afraid, or they felt somehow embarrassed. Like, I don't know if I want to bring in this coffee. And I was like, if the coffee has nothing to do with it. The origin name has nothing to do with it. It's you, what you want to bring it out of it. You want to use it in blend, nobody will know what the coffee is. If you can roast it well, then everybody will talk about how amazing the coffee is, even if you don't mention the name.
Right. So, in the future, India is going to need to work on the brand of India as a coffee producing country.
Well, they have to work on the brand. I think it's already started to change, because this year was a lot easier than 2020 to sell Indian coffees. But
in Saudi.
I think what also helped that the people are looking for different options and expanding their vision.
Folks, our first on-demand workshop, How to Become a Coffee Consultant, is now available for you to learn at your own pace for just €50, and it comes with a certificate upon completion. Go to mapitforward.coffee/workshops or click the link in the show notes for more details. Support this podcast by supporting our sponsors.
But I think definitely India, as a, I don't know if it's the coffee board or for the producers or the roasters, maybe the whole thing, maybe the whole community has to really push for India, India's new branding, I'll say, and change people's perspective. And I think they have an amazing wave that already started from World Coffee Conference. And they just need to carry it. Like, they just need to carry it, create another wave after wave after wave. And it's, it's going to take some hard work, but you have something that will complement your hard work. You're not like, you have to work on your coffee and the branding at the same time. Your coffees are amazing. You're going to have to keep working, but then you need some more pushers to the market.
The fact that India now has the largest population in the world makes me wonder if they need to care about exporting their brand. I wonder if the future of coffee in India is about focusing on creating a local consuming market and differentiating between specialty and commercial grade coffee, finding the specific market for your green coffee, and either creating your own roastery and own cafe chains and things like that, or what happens?
I think changing people behavior is much harder than creating new behaviors, right?
Right. Sure.
Yeah. So I think lowering your risk, pushing new coffees out, getting all the media spotlight will also be beneficial somehow.
I agree.
Because then you'll open tourism, right? You'll open a lot of opportunities. If you're just gonna focus in country, it will be good. You will still have to focus in country, but also focusing off country will also has its own advantages. I mean, look at Brazil. They have massive population, but they still export a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're the biggest producer in the world.
It's a two-story thing, a two-sided story. Like, in country has its own advantage and a disadvantage, but I think it's also selling outside has a very big advantage.
Yeah. The thing that I'm most excited about with regards to the future of Indian coffee is I think that we're going to start to see the solutions that we need to fix the climate problems that we've got with regards to coffee production. I think the solutions are going to come from India.
I mean, they have one of the oldest research centers, so they have so much data ahead of everyone. And I from what I've seen, I think they're very great researchers in India.
And they have government backing, and they have...
They have a lot of support, and I think it could be very influential.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
And they have the platform. I mean, they have the low altitude, They have the higher altitude, so you can do multiple things. And they got rain, they got shades. So I think, I agree. I think
and they're going to try different things. Like that's for me the most exciting of all of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you have to try different things, right? You can't.
No, you don't have to.
You can't switch Arabicas.
But that's the thing. That's the thing that you learn when you're in India. Like there's a lot of people who would say to me, why would I bother switching to specialty when I can do next and like just strip pick my coffee and I know I'm going to get a guaranteed good price for it? And they already know that, right? So they don't have to do something different. They know they're guaranteed to sell all of their coffee. There is a guaranteed buyer for it. But then you've got really forward-thinking producers like our friends that are over there. South India Coffee Co., Mukul, Himu. Shravan has his Shravan has his own place. Like all of these guys are like, we want to be a part of creating coffee for the future. We want to be a part of a small select group of people, even though we don't really have to. If we just want to maintain the status quo, we just keep producing coffee, strip picking it, and look, they're resisting some changes like what other young producers are doing. So an interesting thing that you would see there is you drive past a farm and you could tell it was a shade-grown farm in a previous, like maybe 2 or 3 years earlier. But what the next generation has decided to do is cut the canopies off the forest because they want to let the sun in, because the more sun on Robusta produces a higher yield. And so because of that, they're like, well, the quick way to make more money is to just make more Robusta come out of just by giving it more sun. So they really don't have to do anything different that's harder. They could take the easier route, right?
But they definitely want to be more sustainable, right?
They have to be.
Yeah, because what if you got less water, then you got less.
Which is what happened this year with the monsoons.
Exactly. So switching to specialty or switching to Arabicas or finding different solutions, I think it's part of the coffee journey.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting to watch.
And you can't make one plant look like the other. You can't make a very economical car looks like a very luxury car, right?
Despite what so many people try to do.
I mean, no matter what you do, you're not going to do it, right?
No. You can't make a Toyota look like a Bugatti.
Exactly. And you can make a turtle live in the forest, like a sea turtle living in the forest.
Yeah.
You have to find what works for each. So, right. Yeah. And you have to find what is the originality of each, what is the uniqueness of each tree, and then work with it as it is.
Yeah.
Right. And everything has a purpose. So if you want Robustas, then Robusta has certain elements the characteristics that support it as Robusta, but you can't make the Robusta look like Arabica and the Arabica looks like Excelsior.
No.
You have to pick and you have to find what's sustainable.
Yeah. Yousef, this has been a fantastic conversation.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks for doing this. Folks, keep an eye out. One day in the near future, Yousef's going to be releasing his own podcast. And
with your help.
Inshallah. Of course, with my help. I would be honored to help you do this. You're welcome. Tell everyone where they can find Leanitai. Did I say it right?
Yeah. It's Leanitai. So you can find me on Instagram, Leanitai Coffee. Or if you want, my personal account is Yousef Alzayer.
Yeah. We'll have links in the show notes. Take a look down in the show notes, folks, for all of that.
I promise I will learn how to post more things.
You're not going to wait 13 years before you post about India?
13. Exactly.
He presented a PRF in, where was it, El Salvador?
El Salvador in March.
Which was in March. Today is the 10th of October, the date that we're recording this. He posted it yesterday. I mean,
and I should have been posting about India, but
yeah, correct. I'm like, why are you so behind? So check the show notes, connect with Yousef, and
come to World of Coffee Dubai in January, everyone. You'll get to hang out with us. We'll be making some announcements soon about a few things, and you'll get to see Yousef there as well. So, Yousef, will you do me the great honor of signing off this episode for us, please?
I can, definitely. So, peace, love, and butter. Peace, love, and peanut butter.
You butchered it.
No, is it true? Peace, love, and peanut butter, right?
Correct.
Oh, look at that. Did you see that?
I did see that. The balloons just came up on his Zoom. Right? That's fantastic. Peace, love, and peanut butter.
Yeah, so it's been a pleasure, guys. Thanks for everything, Lee. And peace, love, and peanut butter.
Have an amazing rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in, friends. There are 2 ways you can support this podcast. Firstly, become a paid member of our YouTube channel. Secondly, you can join our Patreon for as little as $3 a month. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video before you leave, and check the show notes for more information. Now, this is what you should check out next.